So it turns out watching beautiful people do acting exercises for 2 hours isn't that interesting. Hello, everyone. Terrence here with Hollywood Already Did It. If you haven't already, go ahead, like, share, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell below. Anytime we have something, you'll be the first to know. A little tongue in cheek, but I'll get to why the top said what I said. So, to give a little backstory, Malcolm and Marie is a new film from creator Sam Levinson, who did Euphoria, about a couple who comes home from after a film premiere and just gets some things off their chest. Let me say this. Zendaya and John David are acting their asses off. They are doing some things that are phenomenal. Uh, the emotion, the just sometimes just facial expressions are just top notch. Um, and there's a lot for them to both chew on. This is an actor's dream. There are monologues upon monologues upon monologues upon monologues of just toxic and painful material. Sam Levinson, cinematography and the way he directs this is just brilliant. There, the black and white, the trailer's going black and white. The way the camera pans, the way that it gets in close ups on some of these drawn out and heartfelt monologues, and the way that a lot of them are almost one shot, meaning that they don't cut or re-edit to film. They just basically put the camera there and let the actors go. It's an actor's dream, and I think it's a smart way to get the audience included into making it feel more real and feel more pain. Because when you are having these conversations, you're not panning and doing a close up or doing a reverse shot. You're looking at the person you're speaking to. So it's smart to kind of get into that emotional, oh well, with the actors. That's where my kindness sort of ends for this film. Nothing happens in this movie. I'm an actor and an old theater head, so I get some of this, but this movie feels like someone put a camera into an old college theater class and says, we're going to do this pitch and receive exercise, and I'm just going to film it, and you guys just go. I'm going to give you a thesis. The thesis is this. You guys come home after a film premiere and you're both angry at each other, but for different reasons, and you have to figure out what that reason is. Now go. And then we'll shoot it. And that's what Sam Levinson did. And there is no real plot here. This is what the story does. And this goes on and on and on. There's monologuing upon monologuing upon monologuing. And it doesn't really lead anywhere because no one learns anything or no one is beneficial of anything. They sort of are just in this constant rat race to one up the pain that they cause each other. We just watch two toxic characters emotionally destroy each other with this serve and volley technique for 2 hours. Here's the thing: maybe one or two of these monologues is fine to build an entire film around. Like your thesis, like you pick one of these monologues back and forth, one of these monologues, maybe two, and you build your entire structure of a film around that. Because the stuff they say is painful and hurtful and real, and it's good to sort of get into the gunk of what a relationship is. That's all fine. But to do it over and over again to a point where it doesn't lead anywhere, it almost starts to become comedic towards the end. And I'm now looking to see what new depraved shit they say to each other more than I do care about either of them getting any type of healing or understanding or resolution from this. Now I'm just kind of like, well, let's just what other depraved shit can you say to this girl? Oh god damn, are you gonna bring that up too? This is ugly. It becomes more of a who's gonna one up the other? It's like I said in acting classes, that's what you watch. Like, oh, how are you gonna push them to that next level? And it's more of a I'm giving this person this to so that they can react to it, as opposed to us doing anything that any type of character development or character study or character movement is happening. And I get the thesis of this film. The thesis of this movie is, and conceit is, to try and get your significant other to see you, to appreciate you, and to value you in your relationship. That's the point. Got it. That's clear. I just think the vehicle and the way the road to get there is severely, severely out of whack here. Despite so many things working on all cylinders. Like I said, the actors are phenomenal. This is an acting tour de force, and the directing is beautiful. It's just a movie that I never need to see again. So on my scale of once is enough, play it again, Sam, or give me a time stone so I never have to think about this film again. This is on the low end of a once is enough. Yeah, I can't say give me a time stone so I never have to think about this again because, like I said, there are some great things at play here. I think that, like I said, the cinematography and shooting style is great, and John David and Zendaya are just brilliant together. They have a lot of chemistry. I would love to see them in something that gives them a lot more to do besides just go tit for tat for just under 2 hours. But once is enough because I'm never going to think about this flick again. Um, I think the only way that this movie comes up is for a lot of actors and actresses who are in acting classes. There are a lot of monologues that you can get to play with that will be mined from this, but no one's ever going to really look at this film with good eyes. I will say this: it is impressive that they filmed this within 14 days. I know that it was a minimal cast and crew on a one set, no real clothing or clothing changes or whatnot. So it's a very guerrilla style, uh, small art house passion project that I think the concept of it, the execution of it, and the acting and shooting of it are all top notch. You're just missing one thing, and that's a real story. But that's it for me. What did you guys think about Malcolm and Marie? Go ahead and leave the comments in the comments below. If you haven't already, you can follow us on Twitter at HollywoodADI. You can hit us up on email at HollywoodAlreadyDidIt@gmail.com. We also have a podcast with the same name that's on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that plays podcasts. We're currently doing the history of sitcoms through WandaVision. We also have a sister podcast called You Can't Do That Anymore, where we talk about classic films like 16 Candles or American Beauty or Tropic Thunder and look at the things that those movies did when they were released and see if they can get away with or should be able to get away with doing those things today through the eyes of 2021. But like always, I got my ticket. You got yours.